Hello, it is the 16th of January and I am 17 weeks pregnant today. So this is the third update video that I'm making, third one? I think so, about my pregnancy. So I'll have the previous ones listed down below if you haven't seen them, along with my Trying to Conceive series. So for 17 weeks, for this update today, I'm going to talk about last week, so week 16. I'm just pulling up my notes so I can tell you all about it. So I started getting nosebleeds in the last week. I think I had 3, and just from like no cause at all, they'll just start out of the blue. I've kind of, I've dealt with nosebleeds in the past anyway. I'm kind of prone to them, but it's been a long time since I've had multiple in a week, so, and usually there's a reason for them. But yeah, so that was a new one. I have increased discharge. It's kind of been increasing gradually. It's definitely noticeable at this point. My boobs have been sore again. They were sore in the first trimester and then they were okay. And now they're sore again, and I think it's because they're growing again. So I talked about in a previous update video how I had bought some new bras that were 1 cup size and 1 band size bigger than what I would normally wear, and those have been fitting for the last few weeks. But I went to try on some different sizes just a couple of days ago, and the lady recommended that I start by trying on some that were 2 cup sizes bigger than what I'm wearing now, so like 3 cup sizes bigger than my normal. So I tried those on. Those were an E, and they had like a little bit of space to grow, but they basically fit. Like I could wear them now. So in the end, I decided to buy the F. It's so big. Like you look at this bra and you're like, it is humongous, but and it is too big for me at the moment. But I didn't want to be silly and like buy bras that basically fit me now that aren't going to fit me in a couple of weeks. So I went with an F. I also bought a pack of bra extenders rather than going up another band size, because I tried on a band size up and it felt just completely loose. So I decided instead of going up another band size and not being sure if it was ever going to fit me, I decided to just get the band extenders, which means that if I do go up a band size, I'll be able to just use the extenders and continue wearing the bras that I am already wearing. The weirdest thing that I've had actually so far this pregnancy is that I can feel my uterus. So I think in my last update video, I talked about how when I went to the midwife, she literally just like touched my tummy for like 1 second and was like, yep, that's your uterus, so your uterus goes up this high. And I was like, oh my God, how does she know that? And how does she work it out so fast? But now I understand, because I can feel it now. From like, I can feel it right above my pelvis up until kind of just below my belly button, and it feels hard. It feels hard, and it feels completely different from how my stomach normally feels. And it is the weirdest thing. And like, so I can feel it on my hands. On my hands, it feels different from my stomach normally, but I can also feel it on my, I don't know what I'm feeling it on. Is it on my skin, on my tummy? It's not my stomach, I guess, because my stomach's probably moved up and out of the way by now. But I can feel it like here as well as on my hand. So like if Jonathan touches it, I can feel that too. I can feel that it feels different from normal, and it's really cool because it's like I can actually feel that something's different, but it's at the same time, it is the weirdest thing having like this part of your body that has always basically felt the same your entire life, and now it feels different. It's so weird. So I'm still getting used to that, but I do quite enjoy. I can only feel it when I'm like lying on my back, or sometimes I'm starting to feel it if my belly like bumps into something, like if I'm leaning up against the counter to do the dishes or something like that, then I'll feel it a little bit then, but I don't feel it just like 24/7. I have so far put on 1 kg. I don't really know if that's a lot or not a lot. It's just the amount that I've put on. And I lost a little bit of weight in the first trimester, so I had to first I had to put on the weight that I'd lost, but now this is 1 kg on top of that. So I got back to where I started and I've now put on an extra kg. I feel like I'm eating all the time. Like, I was really surprised that I hadn't put on more than that, because I feel like I'm just constantly eating. So yeah, I don't know where it's all going, but I've only put on a kg. And yeah, I thought I would show you my belly because I'm actually in a dress that shows it off today. I mean, it's still not massive, but in something like this, I definitely think we're getting to the point where, like, if you saw me, you would probably assume that I was pregnant, right? I don't know. It's hard to know, but like, and I think if you do know me, I think you know that this is not my normal body. But I'm actually still on school holidays. We've got like a couple of weeks before we go back to school properly. So I've not even, like, no one at my school knows. Well, a couple of people, but generally the staff at my school don't know yet. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna, like, when I go back in and see everyone for the first time after these long holidays, they won't have seen me for like 6 weeks, I think. I'm not sure if everyone's gonna like know straight away just by looking at me, or if they're all gonna be super polite and not say anything. So I think that'll be quite funny, just like seeing what everyone's reactions are before I even say anything, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna announce to everyone straight away, or if I'm just gonna kind of hold on to it and just, like, it's not a big secret, so if they work it out, that's fine. But yeah, I haven't decided if I'm actually gonna say anything yet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see when I get back. But yeah, that is me for 17 weeks, and I'll pop back on this time next week. It's the 23rd of January and I am 18 weeks pregnant. So in the last week, Jonathan and I bought a cot. We got it from Facebook Marketplace. We figured it wasn't worth buying an $800 cot brand new when, you know, some people use them for such a short time anyway, and they're in great condition. So we got one for $170 from Facebook Marketplace. It is in fantastic condition. We haven't like set it up yet. We just have all the bits sitting in a room ready for later. As far as how I've been feeling, I did have constipation for like a couple of days. It wasn't too bad because it didn't last too long, and I know some people have it like the entire first trimester or the entire pregnancy even. So luckily it was only for a couple of days, but I don't think I've ever had constipation before, and it was not comfortable. So didn't enjoy that while I had it. But what I have been really enjoying is food, and like good nutritious food. I get so excited by food at the moment, like my blueberries for breakfast and like yogurt with a really fancy muesli. Like, we're spending a lot of money on food at the moment. We're getting fancy yogurt, fancy muesli, and blueberries are not cheap either. But I am just loving that all together as a breakfast. And then lunches, I'm loving either bagels or corn thins. No, it's not corn, it's rice. The little rice circle things, the wafery things, with cream cheese and tomato on top. So good. Yeah, and I'm not craving chips at all. I'm not craving chocolate. I'm really not craving junk food at all. Not that I'm having cravings in particular, but I have so much enjoyment for healthy foods at the moment. And yeah, I feel really good about what I'm eating actually. I am eating a lot though, I think. It's hard to know because I am such a snacker normally. I do eat a lot anyway, but I feel like I think I'm eating more now. I've definitely noticed that when I start to get hungry, I actually have to eat like fairly quickly. There's not a lot of time between starting to feel hungry and then if I don't eat fast enough, I'll start to feel really faint, like I'm about to fall over kind of faint. So I cannot ignore my hunger cues right now. I tried the other day, maybe about a week ago, because we were like an hour away from dinner and I started feeling hungry and I was like, it's fine, like dinner's not that far away. And then we started making dinner and I was so hungry that I felt like I was about to faint. So now if I feel hungry, it doesn't matter how close we are to the next meal, I know that I just have to go and have a snack. But yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good. And I told my new team leader that I'm pregnant a couple of days ago. She was really excited for me. 'Cause I know her already, it's just that I had a different team leader last year. And then we also have a new principal who I was going to tell this coming week, but he had a meeting with the old principal and a bunch of other people. And I think the old principal probably thought that I had told everyone by now, because obviously like I'm quite far along now. He's known since I was 8 weeks. So he just like, I think casually mentioned it in the meeting. I wasn't in the meeting, but yeah, somebody else that was in there told me that he dropped that in. And everyone of course was very shocked because I've basically told no one at school. So anyway, the new principal now knows because the old principal told him. Which honestly, I'm happy about because I've only met the new principal like twice. And it's such a weird thing to say to someone that you've only spoken to a couple of times. So I'm kind of glad that somebody else did it for me. But anyway, he is very excited for me as well. He has young children too. And so he was asking me like, is it your first kid? And I was like, yes. And he was like, oh, that's so exciting. Like that was me. That was the situation I was in just a few years ago. So yeah, he like still remembers the excitement of being a first-time parent. I have a feeling everyone else, all the other teachers are going to find out tomorrow because we've got our first teacher only day tomorrow. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep it secret much longer. Plus I'm like really starting to show now. There's still some things that I can wear and like fully cover it, but yeah, running out of those options at this point. So I have a feeling most people will know tomorrow. But yeah, anyway, that was 17 weeks. I'm feeling so good. It's the 30th of January and I am 19 weeks pregnant, and let me tell you, it has been quite a week. So this one might be a long update. So in my 18th week, I had a little bit of constipation again, just for a couple of days. Again, it wasn't too bad, just something that's unusual for me, so I thought I'd mention it again. I had another couple of nosebleeds, and I have now put on 2 kgs in total, and like from week 14, you're supposed to put on, I think it's half a kilo a week, so for me to get from 14 to 18 weeks, putting on 2 kgs, or 19 weeks now, but it's pretty much the perfect rate of weight gain, so I'm really happy with the weight. I've had some physical changes with my belly, so obviously it is growing, and I can kind of see that week to week, but I've reached the point now where when I kind of slouch over, it doesn't roll in the middle, like, you know, that crease that you get across your tummy. I don't get that anymore because I think it's like rounding out and kind of filling out enough that, yeah, it doesn't roll. So that's a bit different. And also my actual belly button is so much shallower. It like doesn't go in as much as it used to. It's almost flush with the rest of my skin now, which is so weird. Okay, so the main thing that's been affecting me this week is the hormones, like the mood swings, the emotions, have been really hard to deal with actually. Like up till now, I know in the past I've talked about like something happening and I cried. Those were much shorter And even like while I was crying or while I was trying not to cry, I was still like laughing at the situation and being like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. But I have been like completely thrown with the emotions this last week. And I think it is obviously, it's pregnancy hormones, but I think the reason it's come out in the last week is that I've been back at school, not teaching yet. The kids don't come back until next week, but I've been in at school setting up my classroom, and I'm in a new classroom, so there was a lot of like moving furniture, which I did actually get Jonathan to help me with, but then there was a lot of like taking boxes of recycling to the bin and boxes of rubbish to the bin, boxes of resources to the resource room, books back to the library. There was just a lot of carrying stuff around. And I made sure I was careful, like I did it all safely. I didn't carry anything that was too heavy. So physically, it was all stuff that I was able to do, but it was just very physical all the time. And also we've had our kitchen floor go down, so we had to move all the furniture out of the kitchen, and then we had to put it all back in the kitchen. And then Jonathan decided he wanted to rearrange the lounge. So there was a lot of like lifting couches and moving the table, just so much physical moving stuff, which even in my normal job, like teaching, I wouldn't normally be that physical. Like I'm active as a teacher, I'm like up and walking around with my class, but I'm not normally like having to carry heavy things around all day, every day. And it was literally every day. It was 5 days straight of just carrying things places. So I think that's probably why I had the emotions to the extent that I did. So basically I was fine while I was at school each day, and then I would get home and just crash, but like emotionally crash. My body wasn't that tired, to be honest, but my hormones literally were like, my emotions just tanked at the end of every day. So I was really shitty with Jonathan on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, I thought I was better, but he was like, no, you're like more shitty today than you were yesterday. I was like, really? I thought I was better today. And then Friday, I just felt so low in the evening. Friday was the worst, actually, yeah. I think it just accumulated over the week, because yeah, Friday was the worst. I got home from work and immediately we had to go out and do the groceries. And I was like, I think I need a Snickers bar because like it's been such a long week. I was just thinking of something that would kind of give me a pick-me-up because I was already feeling a bit crap. So I was looking for a Snickers at the supermarket. I couldn't find one. And then I basically got into like a little argument with Jonathan, and like we don't really argue, so that in itself is unusual, but like we were doing it at the supermarket in front of people. And I was like, I shouldn't be doing this, but my hormones were just like not letting me do anything else. So I was just like so grumpy at him. We stopped at the dairy on the way home to get me a Snickers. I got home and like ate my Snickers and didn't really feel that much better. And then I continued being an absolute grouch until eventually I was just in like floods of tears. I felt a little better after I cried, but not significantly. Like it actually was a really difficult night, Friday night. And then Saturday I was like, I just need to do nothing. So Saturday I took it easy, which is now yesterday, and I felt so much better. By like Saturday evening, I was waiting to see if my emotions were gonna start playing up again, because it's been an evening thing. But I was fine yesterday, and then like today I feel good again. So it really was just the being at work and doing all that kind of physical work. We do have the kids coming back next week, and we've got like teacher only days before that, but we do have a long weekend. So I'll be in at school from Tuesday. It'll be a 4-day week. It won't be as physical as last week, so we'll wait and see. Hopefully I'll be better without the physical aspect, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the kind of having to be up and engaged all day, which I obviously haven't had to do for several weeks because we've been on summer holidays. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll be okay, and I'm sure I'll get used to it anyway because, you know, everyone works while they're pregnant. It'll be fine. Otherwise it's going to be a long 5 more months for myself and for Jonathan as well, because he's the one that's actually dealing with me when I'm like that, because obviously I'm able to hold it together while I'm at work. What else? So yeah, so that's the main thing that's been like affecting me in the last week. I'm also like so over bras. Over the last few months I have bought several new bras. Some of them have been like maternity bras, some of them have been just normal bras but in bigger sizes, and like most of the ones that I bought do actually fit. Like they fit me, they sit the way they're supposed to sit, but I'm just finding them so uncomfortable, just so irritating, even though they fit. Like I'm not wearing the wrong size, they just are bugging me. The only one that I find comfortable is the Medela Sleep Bra it was actually the very first one that I bought. And it's the one that I've been sleeping in every night because I only have one of them. I've been sleeping in it every night since I've had it, and it is the only one that I don't find irritating right now. The other day I got home and like immediately changed into the sleep bra because I was so over my bra for the day. And then yesterday morning, I remember I said to Jonathan, I'm like 2 days away from throwing out all of my bras and just wearing the sleep bra 24/7. By yesterday afternoon, I had had enough and I was like, no, bra off, get the sleep bra on, this one comfortable bra that I have. So that is it now. It's in the wash right now, so I'm actually wearing, I'm wearing this kind of bralette thing from Bonita, which is really comfortable because it's just got the elastic kind of under the bust, but it doesn't have like clips at the back or anything. So this is what I'm probably going to wear when the other one's in the wash. And I have actually ordered a second one of the sleep bra in a larger size because I think I'm going to need the larger size soon. So I have other options now, but I think I'm done with regular bras. I know I have to be at work next week, but like, I mean, you can't see the one that I'm wearing through this, so I think I just have to pick what I'm wearing carefully so that it still looks like I'm wearing proper clothes, you know? But yeah, I think I've come to the end of being able to put up with regular bras. In exciting news, I do have some exciting news. I think I'm feeling the baby move, and I possibly have been for a couple of weeks, but I was not really sure what it was, and I'm still not 100% sure, but I'm like 95% sure. Because what else would it be? So I didn't feel the bubbles that people talk about, or the little butterflies. I kind of feel like little taps, just little ones. Sometimes it feels like a little muscle twinge, but I think that's the same thing. It's just like a little tap that you think might be a muscle twinge. And I do feel it when I'm just still and not doing anything, which is a lot of the time when I'm home, because I come home and I literally sit on the couch and do nothing. And pretty much as soon as we've had dinner, I come up to bed and just lie in bed and do nothing. So I would say most days, I'm not tracking anything yet because I know it's still really early to for the movements to be regular, but I would say I probably feel them most days, and I'll feel like a couple little taps kind of in the same place, maybe 2 or 3 taps, and then it will stop. But yeah, so that's really exciting, kind of feeling movements for the first time. And the other thing that is actually really exciting is that one of our friends, or one of our like pairs of friends, told Jonathan and I yesterday that they are having a baby too, and they're only a few weeks behind us. We knew they were about to start trying. They told us that a few months ago. So it's not too much of a surprise, but I'm still like, wow, that was actually really quick. And this is really exciting that like, because of course you can make new friends and meet new people that have babies around the same time as you, but to actually go through it with someone that I'm already friends with, I think is so cool. So I think they are about 6 weeks behind us. 5 or 6 weeks behind us? Yeah, so pretty close. So that's really exciting. I've been chatting to her all morning. She's just finishing her first trimester, so she's still feeling a little bit sick, but we're both so excited to like have each other to go through this with. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there for this update, and I will catch you again one more time in a week to round out the video. Actually, do you want to see my bump before I go? Let me see if I can show you. Oh, it's growing. It is definitely growing. Anyway, I'll catch you again next week. It's the 6th of February and I am 20 weeks pregnant today, which means I'm technically halfway through the pregnancy, which is so crazy. Obviously you don't find out until you're 4 weeks. Well, I didn't find out till I was 4 weeks. So I'm not halfway through like the knowing that I'm pregnant part of things, but yeah, the official halfway point. So this is gonna be the last update for this video, and then I'll start a new update video after this. There were a couple of things that I forgot to talk about last week. I think I just had like a bit of a rougher week, so I forgot to like write them down on my phone and then forgot to mention them. But I started having the vivid dreams that everyone talks about like last week that I didn't mention, and I also had like more pimples popping up on my body. So I had one really sore and really red one on my chest, had one that popped up on my back, which I had at the start as well. They kind of popped up on my face at the start, but yeah, the body ones were really going last week. Now we're up to the week that I've just had, so the 19th week. I had a cramp in my leg only one time, but apparently it is like quite a common second trimester symptom. So yeah, one morning I woke up with a cramped calf. After it finished cramping, it was just so sore all day, and it was still sore the next day. It took a couple of days to like fully come right, but it hasn't happened again since then. That was like right at the start of the week. And I am feeling proper movement now. Like it's definitely the baby. I'm sure I know what it is. Anytime I am still, anytime I'm sitting down or lying down and I'm not busy, I am noticing the movement. It's still quite light, so I don't really notice it when I'm at work because I'm busy and I'm not like relaxed and thinking about it. But anytime I'm home, like during the weekends, I'm pretty much feeling it like all day, every day. Anytime I stop and sit, I'm like, oh, there we go again. But because it's still quite light, Jonathan can't feel it yet, but hopefully that's only a week or 2 away. But yeah, I love feeling the movement and having that reassurance like outside of the appointments that baby's still, you know, in there kicking around. So hopefully now the waiting between appointments will be a bit easier for me, because that is something that I've talked about that I've struggled with so far. Speaking of appointments, I do have my anatomy scan in 2 days, which I'm very excited about. Tomorrow's a public holiday, otherwise it probably would have been tomorrow, but yeah, it's the day after tomorrow. I'm so excited. Although Jonathan can't come, I think, because we're back in level red, which is so frustrating. But I think I'm gonna get them to like write down the sex so that we can find out together, because I don't want to find out on my own and then, you know, I want us to find out at the same time. So yeah. Oh, there was one more thing I wanted to say actually, in terms of how my tummy looks, because there's these like dimples at the top of my tummy. Wait, let me show you. So here is my 20-week bump. I love it so much. But yeah, what I was talking about is I've got these little dimples. I don't know if you'll be able to see them on camera, but they're literally here and here. So right at the top. Yeah, I don't know if you can see them, but definitely something that I don't have normally. I've had them for a few weeks actually. I just kept forgetting to talk about them. But yeah, oh my gosh, look at it grow. I love it. Actually, there was one more thing. I got my booster shot of the COVID vaccine yesterday morning, and I was, you know, I wanted to get it while pregnant. No problem with that. I was just a little bit worried that my symptoms might be more severe because I'm pregnant, but it's been like well over 24 hours now, and all I've got is a sore arm. Like I can't really raise my arm properly, but aside from that, it's absolutely fine, which is pretty much exactly the same as my symptoms with the first dose, and I wasn't pregnant when I got the first dose. Second dose, I had like more body aches, and that was a couple of days before I found out I was pregnant, so I was pregnant with the second dose. But yeah, this time it's been easier than the second dose. It's been like the first one again. So yeah, no problems with getting the booster, and now I feel as safe as I can be. But yeah, anyway, that is it for 20 weeks. Can't believe I'm halfway there already. Thank you for tuning into this update, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!